With a single decision, Pope Francis has erased the mark left by Benedict XVI, entrusting Catholic education to a woman known for her stances against church doctrine. This isn't an oversight, but a clear sign, and it marks a delicate turn. Stay with us, because what's happening deserves to be deeply understood. At a time when the Church is going through a deep, yet quiet transformation, Pope Francis takes another step forward. He appoints Belgian theologian BENEDICT to lead the Vatican agency that assesses the quality of ecclesiastical faculties and universities. This choice is sure to spark discussion. Many see it as a sign of the direction of the so-called new synodal church. This isn't just a simple academic appointment. This is the entrusting of a crucial sector. Catholic higher education is now led by someone who has openly criticized church teachings on topics like ordaining women and sexual morality. During the Pope's visit to Belgium in September 2024, the Catholic University of Leuven, where Lemelijn is Dean of the Faculty of Theology, published an article stating that theologians shouldn't just repeat what religious authorities say, but analyze it critically. In that situation, the rector Luc Sells questioned the Church's teachings on women and LGBT issues, hoping for reforms to regain credibility in the modern world. Such statements created friction with the Vatican, and the Pope called the university's statement pre-made and immoral. The Salaire Non Possum website has highlighted how Lemelijn's appointment is controversial, also because of her past criticisms of Pope Francis. She defines herself as a critical friend of the Church, a label that, after a seeming friendliness, appears to be a contradiction. A friendship that sets out to correct or rewrite 2,000 years of teachings. However, Pope Francis not only knows her, but he has already shown his appreciation for her by including her in the Pontifical Biblical Commission. Those who defend the doctrine ask themselves, is this the synodality so often invoked? A new church that renounces its own tradition to conform to mainstream thought? The answer lies in the facts, not in the interpretations. And the facts show that today, those who criticize doctrine are rewarded and listened to, while those who defend it are isolated. All of this takes on a deeper meaning if we look back to 2007, when Benedict XVI created the Vatican agency that is at the center of the debate today. The goal was clear: to maintain Catholic integrity in higher education, anchored in revealed truth, tradition, and the magisterium. Not an administrative office, but a doctrinal bastion against relativism and the rampant secularization in the faculties of theology and philosophy. Benedict XVI had shown this concern since he was a cardinal and prefect of the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith. He knew well what it meant to lose control of the training. It meant preparing generations of theologians and priests without a true Catholic worldview. That's why he promoted a deep reform, with precise rules and strict criteria to guarantee faithfulness to the doctrine. The agency he founded, officially the Agency for the Evaluation and Promotion of Quality in Ecclesiastical Universities and Faculties, was intended as an instrument of oversight to prevent universities from becoming places of dissent disguised as critical thinking. Essentially, Benedict XVI sensed what was coming and acted to prevent it. Now, that same agency is led by those who don't share the Church's theological vision and present themselves as critical friends of Catholicism. It's a total reversal of the original project. From guardian of the faith to a vehicle for change, a silent but profound transformation which threatens the very foundations of Catholic education. And maybe this silence, which goes along with the slow undoing of Benedict XVI's work, is the clearest sign of today's crisis. When the institutions created to defend the truth become tools of ideological change, we are no longer dealing with a simple reform, but a radical reversal of the original purpose. What should be guarding Catholic identity is now led by those who question it, make it relative, and try to move beyond it, and it's hard to believe it's a mistake. Pope Francis is fully aware of reality. It's not the first time he's entrusted important positions to people openly critical of tradition. Benedict had a consistent vision of the Church, rooted in the continuity of tradition. For him, truth didn't adapt to the times, but rather should be guarded with love and precision. Liturgy, theology, education, everything had to remain faithful to the deposit of faith. Pope Francis, on the other hand, has adopted a new pastoral approach, which often translates into a cultural adaptation to the winds of the world. The case of the Agency for the Quality of Education is just a symbol, but a powerful symbol. A thermometer of a much wider battle. The battle for the soul of the Church. On one side, those who consider Catholic identity as something non-negotiable. On the other, those who see it as a project always in reformulation. And today, sadly, power seems to be leaning towards this second view. In this setting, where fluid and ever-changing thought prevails, the memory of Benedict XVI emerges as a silent warning. He wasn't stuck in the past, like some people say. He was a guardian of continuity, a thinker who understood before many others that a church distant from its own tradition becomes fragile and sentimental. For him, true reform wasn't about destroying what existed, but about bringing it to light with renewed strength and consistency. The decision to create an agency for the quality of education wasn't born from bureaucratic demands, but from the desire to guarantee that priests, religious and lay people receive a solid formation in the faith, rooted in revelation. Not a sterile or academic knowledge in the worldly sense, but an education capable of uniting intellectual rigor and spiritual life, doctrine and charity. So, what did you think? If you like the video, type Amen in the comments. God bless you.